Hello students, welcome back. Let's go to section 2, quadratic equations. This part corresponds to section 1.2 of our textbook. Here's the standard form, and make sure the right-hand side is equal to 0. Otherwise, you cannot use the factorization method, which I'm showing right now. So whenever you have a monic quadratic polynomial, monic I mean by the leading coefficient is 1. In that case, you can find factors of the constant term which add up to the middle coefficient, so that you can factor, and then the right-hand side is equal to 0. So first factor is equal to 0 or second factor is equal to 0. Therefore, we get solutions like this. And it works when we have subtractions as well. Let's see, it's a little bit difficult to see which is which by looking at those symbols. So let's work out some concrete examples, like the first example here. Factors of 8 that add up to -6. 1 times 8, that doesn't work. 2 times 4, looks like that'll work. So x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. But this thing can be factored into x minus 2, x minus 4. Please check. -2 times -4 is equal to 8, and they add up to -6. So this times that is +8, and they add up to -6. So what we have, the first factor, x minus 2, is equal to 0, or second factor is equal to 0. That is, x is equal to 2, or x is equal to 4. We have two solutions like this. Please make sure that we have sign change. X minus 2, then x is plus 2. X minus 4, then x is plus 4. How about the next problem here? Similar. Factors of -18 that are adding up to -7. What do we have? Y squared minus 7y minus 18 is equal to 0. But how do we factor? Factors of -18 that is adding up to -7. 1 times 18, that doesn't work. 2 times 9, yeah, that'll work. Y plus 2, y minus 9. You see, it's -7, so it should be -9 times +2, not the other way around. So -9 times +2, that's -18, and they add up to -7 here. So that's a good factorization. So first factor, y plus 2 is equal to 0, or second factor is equal to 0. Therefore, we get solutions like this. Y equals -2, or y is equal to 9. Please note the sign change. If you have y plus 2, we have y equals to -2. Y minus 9, then y equals to +9. By the way, here's the answer key, exactly the same, so these are not really worthy of our time. They're all here. They're all here. How about the next problem here? This one is a little bit more worthy in a sense that we have parentheses. Let's go back to this standard form. We need ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. I don't have 0 in the right-hand side. Instead, we have something more complicated. We have to work it out. How do we do that? Z squared plus 2z minus 18 is equal to, and then let's break it up. 6z minus 2 times 9, 18. Not done yet. we have to flip everything to the left so that the right-hand side is equal to 0. That's the standard form. So we have z squared, and then flip the 6 to the other side. 2 minus 6, we have negative 4z. And then minus 18, oh, they cancel each other out. That's what we have as factorization. Can this be factored? Yes, you can. Take z out, and what's left is z minus 4. So first factor is equal to 0, or second factor is equal to 0. Z minus 4 is equal to 0. That's equivalent to z equals to 4. So there goes the solution. Okay. How about this problem? Well, I'll stop this. Anybody figured out? Already done? Be careful about breaking up this parenthesis because we have negative sign. Otherwise, pretty much the same as before. If you do it right, you're going to get t equals negative 1, a double root. Okay, let's go to the second type of factorization method, this time non-monic. Previously, it was monic case only. The leading coefficient was just 1, so you had to look at or the constant term, factors of those adding up to the middle coefficient. Constant term, factors of those adding up to the middle coefficient. This time it's a bit different. How do we handle that? There are many different methods, but the method I'd like to tell you now here is my method, tic-tac-toe method. So how did it work? Here's an example problem. Let's copy and paste that thing. No. Okay, here we go. The first coefficient times the third coefficient and multiply together, and we get 6. 3 times 2 is 6. Does it make sense? First times third. Okay. Next. Factors of 6 here, something times something, that add up to the middle coefficient. Something we did for monic case. Factors of a certain term adding up to the middle coefficient. This time, that certain term was not this constant term, but the product, first times third. So what times what is 6, but adding up to negative 5. 1 times 5 is 6, but we need negative signs. Negative 1 times negative 5, negative. No, that's not going to do it. Excuse me. 2 times 3 will do it. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6, and they add up to negative 5. Okay, alright. That's correct. Next, let's fill out this puzzle. Everything has to be multiplication, horizontally and vertically. So something times something is negative 2. This times it is negative 3. And vertically, this multiplication has to be 3. This multiplication has to be 2. And the first column here is all positive. Well, they're all prime numbers here, so it's not going to be too difficult. We're going to get 1 times 2, but we need negative signs, so this is going to be negative. And 3 times 1, but we need negative signs, so this is going to be negative 1. That's going to do it. Please check. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And then we take the cross multiplication, crisscross. This and that. So 1 negative 1, 1x minus 1, and then 3 negative 2, 3x minus 2. So that's the factorization. By the way, we don't use 1x, we just use x minus 1. So the first factor is equal to 0. Or second factor is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 1, or x equals to 2/3. Flip this negative 2 to the other side, we have positive 2, and divide by 3, so positive 2/3. Is that it? Yes, indeed. So this method is called tic-tac-toe method. And I usually do it this way, but if you prefer to use some other method, perfectly fine with me. In case you want to go a little bit more into this method, here's another problem. Let's see, how do we handle the second problem here? Okay, we have first number, 10, third number, negative 12, and multiply, we have negative 120. Factors of 120, negative 120, so we have to have two different signs. That must add up to 7. What are those? 1 times 120, that never works. 2 times 60, that doesn't work either, and so on and so forth. Try to find out. Good luck. You're gonna get 15 times 8. You're gonna need positive 7, so this is what you're gonna get. 15 times negative 8. That's negative 120. And then they add up to positive 7. And then we have to do all these multiplications. Something times something is 15, all those. So factor of 5 must be here. So 5 times 3, we need negative. And then 2 times 4, oh, by the way, no negative. This one should be negative, sorry about that. And please check. Vertically, horizontally, they all should fit with multiplication. So the conclusion, let's see, 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, 2 times 5 is 10, and so on. So the conclusion, crisscross, cross multiply, 5x minus 4, and then the other, 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. Diagonal, crisscross. So 5x minus 4 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 3 equal to 0. So x is equal to 5/4, or x is equal to negative 3/2. And there goes the solution. Indeed. So the factorization will handle it, and how to factor non-monic quadratic trinomial, please practice. My method is tic-tac-toe method, but if you prefer something else, please go ahead and use it.